All right, welcome to another episode from the Chart Readers. Hey, I missed everybody over the last few days. I actually got to go to Universal Studios to check out the new Super Mario World. Super cool, actually. So we are going to take a look at NKLA, IDEX, and FFIE. And really, the story seems to be this like ridiculous NKLA target. Okay, listen, people, I say it all the time, all right? Do not have $20 dreams. I think it was 29 actually, whatever the number. Dude, this is a dollar stock. It's like not even, it's literally not even $1.30 right now. You know what I mean? So like, do not think about $5. Do not think about $10. Like, take it slow and steady. I promise you, it'll do you so much better, okay? Coming into FFIE, man, again, I said it on the last video, I actually don't have any issues with an offering. And I kind of thought it was a little bit of an overreaction to the offering. That said, when a penny stock does any silly money things, it always just seems shady. And you know, after a few days, it doesn't really seem like, you know, the immediate recovery came, right? And then IDEX actually looks a lot like NKLA, so I might do it right after this one. But basically, they're both battling the 100 moving average. And it's not an easy line, to say the least, you know what I mean? But that said, before we go any further, what are we going to do? Same thing we always do, right? We're going to take a look at the daily and the weekly to see how this thing is setting up short term. We have our 5 moving averages. There are horizontal support and resistance lines that I do draw manually myself. And then when we're done up here, we'll use the MACD, RSI, and volume as our lower indicators. Hey, really quickly, if you can please subscribe to the channel, share this thing on the internet, comment good or bad, like the video. Look, anything you can do really does help me out, okay? So let's get into it, and I'm going to say it one more time. Look, analyst targets are just nonsense, okay? Somebody on Twitter said it best, I think. I believe the name was like Jewish Investor or something along the lines of that. But nonetheless, he basically said, look, most analyst targets are nothing more than paid advertisement, give or take. I'm paraphrasing. And I very much believe that. I'm not going to go ahead and imply that that's what NKLA did, but honestly, I really believe 7 out of 10, someone paid someone to write a good article and just throw some number in there, okay? And end of the day, most analysts are used for fundamental information, not for price targets. That's kind of why people watch my videos, right? I try not to be super blunt with targets. Obviously, you know, I give you my numbers, you can see the lines here, right? But yeah, end of the day, I think technical analysis is a little better for immediate and future price targets, and general fundamental analysis is just company stuff, and trying to merge those is just silly, you know what I mean? So just my 2 cents right there, okay? Getting into the actual technicals themselves, I actually really hope you see it, right? And I mentioned it in the opening thoughts, but it is all about the 100 moving average right now, this blue line, and I'm kind of seeing it fail, right? So I'm actually going to delete this line. All right. At the end of the day, we're basically talking about the 100 less that 137 line that I drew, right? But we wicket come down, all right? We open above, we fail under. We actually are able to stay, and this day we do close over it. You can see 144, 142. Physically, you can easily see the blue line is under that candle as well, right? The issue is, look, doing it once is nice. I need confirmation. I say it on almost every single video, and this is a really good example of why, okay? Just zooming out a bit, I mean, look at this blue line, right? I mean, geez, basically till here. When was this? Back in 2020, all right? There was a little moment, little moment, little moment, little moment, little moment, little moment. Nothing super break and run. You know what I mean? Maybe this was kind of the closest, but from just this far back out, it goes, it comes back down, and then goes again, right? It never breaks and run, because end of the day, behind the 100 has always been the 200 as well, right? But where we're at now would have been a really healthy gap, right? Not like a gap fill necessarily, but I mean literally the gap, the spacing between these two lines. If we were to break this and go all the way to there, you're adding you're adding more than $1 actually. And I mean, literally on a stock that's only $1 and change, that's a significant swing, right? Problem is, again, we just saw it, the 100 is no joke to break. And again, doing it once is cool, doing it twice and more is what we're looking for, okay? I say this all the time. A doji right on an important line, such as a moving average or one of those horizontals that I draw, generally means the next day is going to be really, really telling. All right. I honestly expect Monday to fall pretty hard because look, green, 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 green turns really quickly to red, 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 red. That's not a good RSI. That MACD went from super up to like, it is definitely like horizontal at best, maybe even kind of starting to curve down, right? So I am afraid we're going to lose the 8. I'm really afraid that there's not a lot of like support to catch anything all the way down at 88, right? Let me just zoom out a little bit. See, even look, this is essentially red, 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 all the way to here. Maybe this will catch it. I'll draw this. Yeah, and it's pretty, yeah, honestly, it seems like it might be, I don't know if it's going to come all the way down to the 20, but unless tomorrow, unless Monday bounces on the 8 and goes up, the fear really is we're coming down to 98, if not, like I said, all the way down into the high 80s. So definitely a little bit to be worried about. And again, volume was fantastic. Volume has definitely started to go downhill, and I'm obviously seeing 3 red candles instead of, out of the last 5, right? So little worried on NKLA for sure. What's the weekly look like? Again, the weekly was close, but couldn't get over the 20, right? Yeah, the 20 was at 130. We closed at 129. By 2 pennies would have broken it, right? So sad. This is actually a decent weekly chart, but again, nothing matters if we can't get over the 20. Just again, looking at it, right? We break it once, can't do it twice. Break it once, can't do it twice. Like this was the closest to doing it twice right there, right? But NKLA, I am seeing this come closer to $1 than I ever would imagine this going close to the 20s, right? Like, come on, don't let those silly numbers distract you from like actuality. All right, IDEX. I want to talk about IDEX next, because again, look at it. It is almost the exact same chart as NKLA, right? So tries to break and actually gets over the 100, but again, you gotta make me believe, right? Like I physically see that this one is over it. Yes, I physically see that this one's over it. Yes, that does mean 2 days in a row are over it. Come on, are those good candles that make, regardless if this line was there, let's pretend I didn't know how to draw good lines just looking at the moving averages, right? Like that is not a good break. And again, we come down, we're able to use the 8, which is great, right? Again, I love the 8 moving average because you should bounce from it and hopefully go. Issue is the 100's no joke, all right? Break over it once pretty well, actually, and off of the 8 bounce, loved it. Unfortunately, the last couple days are not looking good, and actually, on Friday, we lose 2 moving averages on a single day. Theoretically, we might confirm that all the way down to 8 cents if you really want to know the truth, okay? That's not a great MACD anymore. This RSI is definitely starting to slip. Volume, again, is nowhere to be good. Definitely the last 6 days, 5 were bad, 1 was decent, right? So, IDEX, I'll even be honest, there's a real good chance that this comes into the 7s, right? Because again, moving average theory is if you lose the 8, you're going to come down to the 20, right? And we did lose the 8, but again, doing this once means less to me, and it really needs to come into this basically low 8, high 7, right? We'll basically call it maybe 082, 083 if I had to guess it. Again, I just really wish that I had more decimals. Super annoying. Like I can do that, but I can't get more decimals like after the 8, right? But I am worried that we lost 2. I don't like how these 3 look down here. I'm actually a little worried about IDEX to say the least, okay? Interesting weekly, all right? Very interesting weekly, because look, this, man, I still got to zoom out. It's till, did this one close over it? This one did. June of 21 looks like the last time we close over the 20 moving average, this orange line right here, Ridiculous. Look at it. A bunch of them come really close, but yeah, we never actually close over the orange line. We did it this week. But again, is that a good candle? Is that one that kind of makes me believe, okay, we've broke it, let's see if we confirm? Not really. That said, I would call this a doji, and I would say I think next Friday's candle should let us know what the truth looks like. Maybe that means coming, like I said, to the 7s. Maybe that means holding 9 and kind of at least staying with the 20. Maybe that even means coming to 11, right? Like, I think this doji by the end of Friday means something big is going to happen. So I'm curious to see what it is, but honestly, I think Monday, Tuesday might not do well, actually. Just, again, we've lost moving averages, and yeah, the one thing to say, I'll at least end it with this, just a little bit of optimism. The 100's doing really well. All of these days, what is it, 3, 6, 7, the last 7 days have pretty much been on the line, right? So we're a little above it, a little below it, a little above it, a little below it, right? So hey, maybe we're just going to kind of keep a tight oscillation on the 100. The 100 is definitely going down, right? So it is going to be a downtrend if we oscillate, but hey, better than a hard fall to the 20, right? So be careful here. I do got to say it one more time. This upsets me, all right? It really does, okay? I've said it so many times on so many different videos, on so many different sectors. I don't mind offerings, all right? An offering is not a bad thing, all right? An offering is a simple way for a company to see the stock price run really high and then bank that. That's my opinion of what an offering is. I'm not saying that that's the truest definition or whatever. I'm not the stock guru, right? Like, believe me. But yeah, I don't mind offerings. And I thought that this was such a dramatic drop down that maybe one of these 2 days would actually be a little bit of a recovery and try to like take back some of it. I think the fact that we have now fallen below all 5 moving averages is a scary thing, okay? This was a bad candle. I'm really surprised Thursday and Friday weren't horrible, okay? In my opinion, neither of these has quite confirmed just yet that we've lost all 5 moving averages. I think there's a definite chance to say, hey, we might actually come back up to 25. We might try to take back the cluster at least a little bit. Otherwise, where are we to this? 20. Okay. Where are we to this? We're here right now. I think we either fall to 20 or we go up to 25, maybe even 26, and a high 25 actually, right? You can see it, like that's 25, that's the 50, and then that's so like 259. It either goes up to almost 26, gaining 3 cents, or it probably loses 3 cents and comes down to the 20. So again, I do not like that we're under all the moving averages. That is a bad MACD. It looks like it's actually about to slip into the negative. That's not a good RSI. And that RSI can look, it hasn't even been that long ago that we were in the 15s of an RSI. There's plenty of, be careful with FFIE. I'm so sad. This is how the market reacted to the offering. End of the day, if you're a sub-dollar stock, if you're a true penny stock, only have a few pennies. This one literally only has 23 pennies, right? You can't do shady things. And again, an offering in my book isn't shady, but I think that's just how the market interprets it, right? So the weekly is not going to look good if we're under all the moving averages on the daily, and obviously you can see we're under all of these right now. So we're under the 20, we're under the 8. Man, this actually even says we had 20 again is 50 candle, and then 17, man. Geez, be careful here. Too sad to see how this went. But hey, appreciate your time. Thank you so much for watching. And yeah, more videos are coming.